So for the record, this is a fairly heavy box. Looks like it's a pretty good sized controller. I bought it locally within Anaheim, and I'll leave the website all in the listing below. So I'm assuming this is going to be the power supply and the USB cable. Oh, that's not too bad. So I would say this has a pretty good heft to it. It doesn't feel so heavy that I wouldn't feel like I could carry it around. It's certainly not like the Numark NS7 III, which is really heavy. This feels like, you know, for an intermediate controller, it has a pretty good, I almost call it a professional kind of a weight. And there we have it. So it feels pretty good. Wow, that feels really nice. Now obviously when you're getting new stuff, it's always, you know, super exciting. Let's take a look in the back. Covered. And I was just kind of going through it. I've already talked about the weight. It feels significant enough without necessarily being super heavy. One thing I have noticed is that the jog wheels, they feel really nice, but they do feel a little stiffer than I remember trying while I was in the store. But you know, out of the box, this feels pretty good. I think it looks pretty good. One caveat that I noticed, hopefully you can see this, it looks like you have to devote a mic to a particular channel. So in this case it's either channel 3 or channel 2. So if you are going to use a mic, it looks like you're going to end up having to give up a particular channel. That's a little bit of a negative. I do like the that it has both inputs for the headphones, so that's pretty decent. That feels pretty good. These are very stiff. I did like the fact that you had a separate sampler volume. Now, on the DDJ RX, which is the other unit that I was looking at, it had some additional features like color effects, which would have been nice. I think there's another effects button up here that gave you access to what they call release effects, which is kind of reminiscent of the Pioneer RMX 1000 effects units, which I've had, which is really nice. I'm gonna plug it in, and I'll load up Serato, and then we'll see what it looks like when it's tied into the application. All right, well, I have everything plugged in. I'm gonna turn it on. Let's see what things look like. Okay, so obviously I've got it turned on. I'll do a full review, so I'll go through the whole deck. Just some things that kind of stand out. The crossfader, that feels pretty good. These faders are stiff. That might bug some people. I don't mind that. The knobs, I actually thought would be a little chunkier, for lack of a better term. You know, I was on the DDJ-RX and just kind of practicing on that, and it has a few extra things. Like I said, the filter knobs were a little chunkier. They had color effects, which is sort of a bummer that this one doesn't have. The other thing that I would notice is that the tempo doesn't have quite enough tension for me, I guess. Those those are the things that I'm pointing out that I would think are on the negative side. Everything else seems to be pretty good. I do wonder if these will get a little looser with time, because they do feel a little stiff. Not bad, just a little stiff. And it could be too because I've been used to using the Newmark NS7 III, which has, you know, real vinyl, and I can always go back to that, so that's really good. So anyway, that's essentially the unboxing of this. The general impression is pretty good, just about what I thought. In another video I'll talk about, again, why I picked this particular controller, some of the advantages, because I know I've pointed out some things that might seem like, oh, they're negative, and if he didn't like those things, why did he get it? I do have some specific reasons why I chose this, and we'll talk about it in another video. With that, I will say cheers. Don't forget to like the video, comment if you have any questions or you want to see something specifically about this unit. I'll do a full review, and subscribe. More content is coming your way. Cheers.